Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to your personal revolution.
Hi, everyone.
If you're, maybe in your 40s and you're feeling that sort of pull for something more, especially maybe in your relationships or just unlocking your own potential.
Then yeah, you've definitely landed in the right place.
Absolutely.
You're here to explore how you can really connect better with yourself first and then build those stronger, more fulfilling relationships.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always about grand gestures, right? It's more about understanding what makes us all tick.
It really is. I'm Biba Dura, and as a life and mindset coach, I see it all the time, how our own internal stuff, those beliefs we don't even realize we have, the emotional habits, they can be the biggest roadblocks, honestly, in creating the love and the life that you actually want. So my focus is really helping you spot those blocks and navigate through them.
And I'm Max. Working alongside B, my role is kind of bringing a practical angle to all this.
Mm.
I look at how we can use, let's say, clearer frameworks, tangible shifts in how you see things, really to build healthier connections and, unlock that personal growth we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it like providing the actionable steps that really work hand in hand with B's insights into the why.
Exactly, because ultimately our mission working together here is to give you both the understanding and the practical tool.
Tools you can use.
Yes, tools you can actually use to, take charge, to actively shape your personal evolution, especially in how you relate to yourself and to other people.
We really believe that understanding your own mind, your own patterns, and the dynamics in your relationships, that's just key. It's fundamental to living a more empowered and, frankly, more joyful life.
It is.
It's about spotting those patterns, maybe ones you've been repeating, and then making conscious choices to do things differently.
So if you're ready to really dive into what it takes to build those stronger bonds and tap into your potential right now at this stage of life, then stick with us.
We're genuinely excited to explore these really important parts of personal growth with you.
Welcome, truly, to your personal revolution.
Okay, so just as we sort of close out this initial thought, maybe consider this. Your personal revolution, whether it's in relationships or just your own growth, it isn't really about finding some, perfect finish line.
That's such a good point. It's not. It's really an ongoing thing, right? A process of learning, changing, evolving.
Exactly.
So maybe just think about this. What's one small shift? Just one tiny change in how you think about yourself, maybe, or how you approach a relationship. What's one thing you could perhaps explore? Okay, let's dive into something I think, a lot of us feel these days. We live in this world that's all about hustle, productivity, hitting the next target. And maybe you've done everything, quote unquote, right. You're achieving things, busy, looks good from the outside. But underneath, there's this, subtle feeling like something's a bit off, a quiet tension maybe.
Exactly. And that feeling, it's really important to say, it isn't a flaw. It's not like you're lazy or not trying hard enough.
Right.
It's actually, it's your inner wisdom, your intuition. It's trying to signal something gently sometimes, or maybe not so gently.
Yeah.
It's pointing out a misalignment because those external messages, they're just so loud, aren't they? We learn to tune out the inner voice.
We really do. The pressure to do more, be more, it feels constant. It's presented as the only way. But what's the actual price? What happens when we keep overriding that inner knowing, that little nudge,
Well, that's when the misalignment really digs in. And yeah, it doesn't stay subtle. It starts showing up as, burnout, feeling really disconnected from yourself, chronic stress, and just that nagging dissatisfaction, even if on paper everything looks okay. It's like building this fantastic looking house, but you can feel the foundations cracking underneath.
And it's not just a feeling, is it? This is where it gets, pretty serious. Ignoring those signals, it actually has a physical cost.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's solid science behind this now. Feels like psychoneuroimmunology.
Yeah.
Basically studying the mind-body connection.
Okay.
They show really clearly that prolonged stress, which often comes from pushing against what you intuitively feel is right. It messes with your immune system. It impacts memory, even long-term cognitive function.
Wow. So your body is literally keeping score.
It really is. It's registering the impact when you ignore what it's trying to communicate. And think about it. How often does ignoring that internal no or that gut feeling,
Yeah.
how often does it lead to choices that look like success?
Yeah, the promotion, the bigger project.
Exactly. But they feel hollow, just empty inside. And that gap, that dissonance between who you really are and what you're doing, it just grows. It cuts you off from what you truly want and need.
Okay, so if ignoring it causes all these problems and it's not just some random feeling,
Yeah.
what is this intuition we're actually talking about? How should we understand it?
Yeah, that's key. It's definitely more than just a hunch. It's a real form of intelligence. And neuroscience is actually backing this up more and more. Research shows our brains register important signals, process stuff non-consciously, like milliseconds before we're even consciously aware of it.
So that phrase, your body knows before your mind can explain, that's actually kind of literal.
It really is, because intuition is like a synthesis, you know? It pulls together your experiences, your memories, emotional insights, and that somatic awareness, what you feel in your body.
Right, the physical sensations.
Exactly. Your subconscious is constantly scanning, interpreting, feeling things out, ignoring it. It's like having this incredibly advanced, personalized GPS system, calibrated just for you, and deciding to just keep it switched off. Muted screen, no sound. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you want that guidance?
That's a really powerful analogy. It completely shifts how you think about it, and it changes how we think about leading ourselves, doesn't it? We usually think leadership is about external action, taking charge.
Right. Being outwardly strong.
Yeah. But maybe real self-leadership starts quieter, more internal.
Precisely. It starts with listening, actually tuning in, listening to your body, acknowledging your emotions, noticing that subtle yes inside that feels expansive, light. And that note, that it feels heavy, tight, draining.
Okay.
It's a shift, really.
Yeah.
Moving away from just reacting to whatever's thrown at you externally towards being intentionally present, responding from your own center.
And when you start doing that, even just a little bit, you feel it, don't you? Decisions maybe don't feel like such a battle. They feel, well, lighter, truer, more energizing somehow.
Yes, because they're coming from you, not just from what you think you should be doing. The whole internal conversation changes. It goes from what's expected of me, what looks good, to something more like what actually feels aligned with who I am right now, what feels authentic for me.
That feels like the path to making conscious choices.
It is.
Yeah.
And it might feel subtle at first, maybe almost unnoticeable, but stick with it, and it changes everything. It really does.
So if someone's listening and this is really resonating, that feeling of being off, where do they start? It sounds potentially huge, but maybe it doesn't have to be.
No, definitely not. You don't need to overhaul your whole life tomorrow. The most powerful place to begin is actually really simple, but it does take intention. It's about creating little pockets of space.
Yeah.
Pausing, just noticing.
Okay. Just pausing.
Yeah. Give yourself moments during the day, maybe just a minute, 2 minutes, to check in with yourself. What's going on inside?
And in those pauses, maybe ask, what has been whispering to you? What's that quiet signal that keeps coming back? And think about decisions you're facing, or maybe ones you just made. Do any of them feel heavy, forced, like they're just disconnected from you deep down, beyond the usual effort involved?
There's effort, and then there's drag.
Exactly. And where might your body be giving you clues, sensing something before your logical mind has fully grasped it?
That gut feeling again.
Yeah. And look, the answers might not flood in immediately. That's perfectly okay. The magic isn't necessarily in getting instant clarity. It's in the act of asking, creating the space, turning your attention inward. That's what opens the door.
And what happens when you consistently practice that, when you start really honoring that inner guidance? What's the outcome?
Well, naturally, you start making decisions that feel more authentic, more you. Your boundaries become clearer, stronger, because they're based on what actually supports your energy and well-being, not just what you think you should tolerate.
Okay, that makes sense. And it leads to growth that's sustainable. Growth that feels fulfilling, not just impressive on a resume. It really is like coming back home to yourself, especially if you've spent a long time focused purely on those external pressures and expectations.
It's like you've already proven you can do the external stuff. You can push, you can achieve according to that script.
Exactly. You've done that. Now, the invitation, the real challenge maybe, is something else. It's doing something courageous, which is turning inward. Coming back to yourself by learning to actually listen to that inner voice.
And you don't need anyone else's permission to start, do you?
Not at all. Your intuition, that inner wisdom, it's been there the whole time, patiently waiting for you to just turn down the noise outside and tune in.
So maybe the question to sit with, just mull over as you go about your day.
Yeah. Will you give yourself permission?
So we often hear from you, right, about reaching that point where you just, you sense there's something more, that feeling.
Yeah, like you're capable of breaking through something.
Yeah.
And honestly, from everything we've seen guiding people, that feeling, it's usually spot on.
Absolutely. There's this incredible potential inside everyone, and it often just starts with acknowledging, okay, I'm ready to move past this thing that feels limiting.
And what's really interesting is that those limits, they are always these, huge concrete walls. Sometimes it's more subtle.
Like habits of thinking.
Exactly. Or emotional patterns that maybe keep you going in circles. The real key, we find, is sort of bringing those unconscious things into the light.
Right. Creating space for something new by seeing the old patterns. And, guiding people through this, the biggest hurdle isn't always the big change itself. It's often just getting started.
That first step, it's shifting from just wanting it to, well, actively doing something about it.
Yeah, making that conscious choice to actually engage with those maybe emotional blocks or beliefs.
And look, if you're feeling that readiness, if this conversation resonates and you're thinking, okay, I want to take that step, we've actually designed something specific for this.
We have. It's a focused experience we're calling Your Personal Revolution.
Think of it as a dedicated pathway, a way to really begin that process of breaking free,
Mm-hmm. And over 7 days, the main goal really is to help you start identifying and understanding those emotional blockages.
Yeah, and the limiting beliefs, too, that might be holding you back from, feeling the way you actually want to feel deep down.
It's about kicking off a genuine shift, starting that deeper transformation inside.
I mean, it's practical. That's important.
Oh.
Each day, you get a specific task. It's not just theory.
No vague ideas. These are actionable things, exercises designed to boost your self-awareness.
Right, and connect you with what really feels authentic for you.
So the real value here, it's about actively participating in your own emotional transformation, day by day.
You'll be taking concrete steps, little by little, to understand and work through whatever feels stuck.
And to help you with that, especially in this initial phase, we've put together some specialized tools.
Yeah, and inspiring materials, too, things drawn from our experience and work. It's all structured, step by step.
So you can navigate it without feeling, completely overwhelmed by it all.
Exactly.
And we really believe that this kind of opportunity, this chance to initiate real personal change, it should be accessible to anyone who feels that pull towards growth.
Absolutely. Which is why we wanted to offer this Your Personal Revolution Challenge with a name your price approach.
Meaning you decide the value you want to place on this 7-day experience.
Based on what feels right for you, what fits your situation right now, and I guess your commitment level to starting this journey.
It puts you in control right from the start.
Yeah. You're in the driver's seat.
So if this is speaking to you, if you're feeling that inner nudge towards something more, and you feel ready to take that really crucial first step, you can find all the details, everything you need to know about how to join the 7-day Your Personal Revolution. It's all available via the link in our profile description.
We genuinely believe in your potential for positive change. We see it all the time.
We do.
Consider this an invitation, really. An invitation to start exploring that potential within you.
And to begin creating that emotional freedom you're looking for. It's possible.
It really is. Just take that first step.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.